Molly Ball, a politics reporter for The Atlantic, and Ken Vogel, chief investigative reporter for Politico. Ken, this also has enormous political ramifications. You've even got Republicans mad at Republicans. Democrats are jumping in on this.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, Trump made a lot of big promises coming in. This was one of them. And so far, this is not being implemented. There's questions about the wall and who's going to pay for it, another big promise. And there's questions about the implementation of Obamacare. So we see him lashing out at the judge, lashing out at critics of this. And it's sort of, there's an element of working the rest. There's also an element of sort of explanation, like why these things are not the successes that he said they were going to be.
Alan, what do you think of his president's tweet over the weekend referred to the judge as so-called judge?
It's ridiculous and also hurts his case tremendously. This is a judge who was confirmed 99-0. He has an extraordinarily good reputation. He was nominated by a Republican. It reminds people of Trump calling President Obama the so-called president, in effect. You don't attack the integrity of the judge the way Trump did in the case involving the judge whose parents were born in Mexico. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help politically. It doesn't help legally. It will very much alienate the appellate court judges. It was just dumb. There's no other word for it.
Molly, Senator McConnell, Majority Leader, has he responded at all, reacted to this?
Yes. Well, what he said yesterday on one of the Sunday shows was that he would not be encouraging the Congress to somehow codify legislatively the order that Trump did. You know, a lot of the criticism from Republicans, even those who agree with Trump's stated aims in this or who think that there needs to be more careful vetting of people from majority Muslim countries or from certain countries or from terror harboring countries, they still have problems with the process by which this was done. That so many of the agencies were not notified, that Congress didn't see this coming, that the green card holders were literally detained at airports. And so I think McConnell, by saying that he was not going to carry Trump's water here, was basically saying, look, if you want us to help you succeed, you've got to work with us. You can't just do these things unilaterally and then expect us to clean up your mess.
All right, some legal voodoo. Let me go some legal voodoo. Let me go to you, Alan. I think this is going to be decided tonight. That's my legal voodoo. Who knows? It's a wild guess, but your thought?
I don't think so, but I do think that President Trump, if he is rational, would withdraw his order, moot the case, because he very well may lose part of it, and go back to the drawing board and come up with a much more calibrated, much more carefully thought through rule. I think he will do that if he loses, and I think maybe the courts know he'll do that if he loses, so that will incline them to continue the stay so as to encourage the president to avoid the constitutional crisis by redoing this with the consent and consultation of lawyers, of national security people, of legislators, and that way you have a win-win. You have a regulation that is constitutional and protective.
Ken, I do not see the president backing down. If he loses, I see this going on. I do not. I mean, it's like, this is, I mean, he takes no prisoners.
We've seen absolutely nothing from him during the course of the presidential campaign or his first days in office that would suggest that he would do anything that would admit that there was anything that he could have done better in the first place. In fact, he would double down, more likely, is the instinct, how I see his instincts playing down.
Maybe he'll win. It's the Ninth Circuit is typically a liberal circuit, but who knows what judges decide. But well,
on the one hand, Trump doesn't back down publicly, so his public stance is going to be this type of bluster. But remember, after he personally insulted Judge Curiel, he then went on to quietly settle that case and then to go on and talk about something else. So when Trump sees that he's lost a battle, sometimes he quickly moves on and hopes nobody will notice and finds something else that he thinks he can win on.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. And Ari has a special note. He's going to have much more tonight. He's guest hosting The Last Word at 10 p.m. Eastern right here on MSNBC. So check back with Ari.